You're looking at footage from what I like to call Promo Day, a fun-filled day designed to update the old headshots and spruce up any marketing materials and social media content. I'm Ty, the owner and lead planner behind Aisle Runners. This may be how you're used to seeing me, but what's created from Promo Day is only a small fraction of what running my business really looks like. Believe it or not, a majority of my time is actually spent utilizing two very basic yet important life skills: problem solving and asking lots and lots of questions. Pretty glamorous, right? Do you fit into at least one of these four categories? 1. You're newly engaged and don't know where to start. 2. You've attended a crowded bridal show and felt too rushed or overwhelmed to get all your questions in. 3. You want to learn more about a wedding vendor without the high-pressure sales pitch that you often get after they know you're interested. Or 4. You'd like to make the best use of your time and money when planning your wedding. If any of this applies to you, then watch the rest of this video. We're going behind the curtain to ask real vendors real questions. This is Love and Logistics 3, the Vendor Edition.
So I am with Kimmy Sims, designer and owner of Kyra Unfiltered. So I personally know how amazing you are. I've ordered something from you before and it was amazing. So what I want to do today is tell the people out there, tell me a little bit about Kyra Unfiltered.
Yeah, absolutely. So we specialize in custom-made bridal, formal wear, prom. Those are really our specialties.
Okay.
And we focus on just creating the clothing they wish existed. Oftentimes my clients will come and say, hey, I have this vision, I have this event, and I don't want to blend in, I want to stand out.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, ding.
And you guys make it happen. My clientele, primarily bridal. So that involves the bride, bridesmaids, hostesses, mothers of the bride and groom. So that's kind of our focus. What types of benefits would people in sort of the bridal section of design, what are some of the benefits they would get out of getting a custom gown instead of getting something off the rack?
I would definitely say you get to treat yourself as a bride and your bridal party to a luxury experience.
Absolutely.
Where they can feel like something is made for them.
Yeah.
Because we know wedding planning can be a little bit hectic, and I'm sure with you make it much better. But overall, there's lots of opinions, there's lots of needs, and I think sometimes people may feel neglected during that time.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like an ongoing, just kind of spa treat for them that they're treating themselves to, or as a bride, you know, depends.
So in saying that, I just thought about something. So how difficult is it to make similar dresses, but still different and appropriate for each bridesmaid? Is that something, I know a lot of times that's not something we can necessarily do with something off the rack.
Exactly.
But is that something that you can do to, like what you said, to make each person feel special and feel like that dress is uniquely theirs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think whenever we have like a design that the bride specifically wants. I usually say, okay, choose a range of few. So depending on the bridal party, we'll have like select 3 or 4 designs, or 1, like you said. But depending on the physique and like how that bridesmaid wants to feel in their dress, we can make tweaks. So,
I love that.
you know, usually with different body frames and heights and different things, silhouettes, it's just like, okay, I always make recommendations as a designer, because I feel like that's one of my, one of the greatest things I can add into designing clothes is not
add value.
Add value is not just making it look pretty, but like making it look good for your body.
Exactly, because everybody's not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. We know that celebrity inspiration is like everything right now.
Yes.
And the bridal industry is no different. So I'm sure you get a lot of people who come up to you with lots of Oscar dresses that, you know, they don't realize someone spent months, or a whole team of people spent months putting in each intricate bead. But I don't know if they necessarily connect what the costs are that are connected to making that garment.
Yeah.
So if you had to break down to a client what it is exactly that they're paying for when they order a custom design, what would you tell them?
I would first tell them they're paying for peace of mind. That's the first thing.
Absolutely.
I think that kind of supersedes everything.
Yeah.
Rather than having to like look and search every night for what you're wanting.
I've done that.
1 week up until the event, like, oh my gosh, I gotta rush order it. We're really taking it from the consultation. Once you agree to the design that's been, you know, sketched just for you, and you select your fabrics, from there it's a very easy process. We have our fittings. Now, I would say, honing in on the specific design aspect, it really includes our fabric sourcing time, just making sure that we find the right material for each design, because it's very important.
And I'm sure you have access to vendors that the average person, I can't just walk into a Hobby Lobby and say, give me that set and let's go. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I am looking at, these are custom patterns for your dresses? This is not your buying a packet, fold it up 3 times, McCall situation?
Exactly.
Okay.
So all of our patterns are custom made according to our clients' measurements.
Okay.
And we have a really great process that allows us to have an efficient time frame, but also accuracy. So,
which is super important.
Exactly. So you can expect that, you know, if I love this dress, I can order it again, even if it's in different, if it's the same person.
So do you save the pattern?
Yeah, we save our patterns, even just for, I mean, because we use a lot of paper.
Yeah.
So we were like,
try to be responsible.
Yeah, we try to be responsible, and we're like, okay, we don't want to just throw these away.
So this is, what kind of fabric is this?
So this is our illusion mesh, and the reason why I have so many different colors is because
we're different skin tones.
We are different skin tones, and that is a moment in almost every consultation when my clients, like, I say, okay, this is gonna have like mesh here, and before they even ask, I just pull out the swatch card. I'm like, we have meshes that can go with your skin tone.
But I imagine that makes them feel fantastic, because a lot of times if you try to go do something that is a nude at a store, it is not
it's not nude,
and it's discouraging.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a satin that we'd use. This one is not a silk satin. I use this primarily for a base, so underneath a lace.
So like a lining?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And certain dresses, they honestly have up to 3 linings, sometimes 4.
Wow.
There's so many layers that go into the dress.
Okay.
If someone is wanting like an illusion look, they're like, okay, well, give me the mesh, but then we're going to put mesh, and then we're going to put another.
I'm sorry. That's so funny that you say that, because people think it's an illusion mesh, and they think that they're naked underneath it, but there's another whole system.
It's a system. It's a whole system going on under there.
I love that. So that they feel still pretty covered.
Yeah, supported, exactly.
Yeah.
You may not have noticed, but I intentionally started this video with a fashion designer. Why? Because one of the very first bridal tasks is to begin shopping for your wedding gown. A typical wedding dress can 1. Set the formality and tone of the entire wedding, and 2. Take up to 6 to 9 months to receive, depending on a number of miscellaneous factors. So if you consider yourself to be a picky bride, you may want to start looking early and decide if you're a retail doll or a bespoke babe so that you can get exactly what you're looking for with enough time to spare.
I love it. That is beautiful. So for any potential client that's thinking about hiring Kyra Designs to make their wedding day special, what would you like them to know coming in? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I would say really just dream. Like, just dream of what you want to wear, and again, how you want to feel on that day.
And you can do it.
Yes.
Now, I've seen you, I've known you for a while, but I always am so excited to see you in publications. You are everywhere. Can you give me an idea of some of the publications and advertising that you guys have been featured in?
Oh, wow. I would say the one that I'm most proud for and excited about is the Houston Chronicle.
Okay.
That one is our most recent one. They came in and we talked about how COVID really changed the makeup and hair world and how people are, doing their hair and makeup now.
Yeah.
We've been in weddings, Texas Weddings magazines, Weddings in Houston. Wow, I can't even think of any more. We were at the Bride Extravaganza, that magazine.
And
Brides of Houston.
a little birdie told me that a lot of the billboards that we see a lot of times for the Bride Extravaganza show, you have done the hair and makeup for those billboards.
Yes, ma'am. It's been, I would say, maybe 5 to 6 years now that we've been doing the billboard bride. So
That's
we
awesome.
do the entire spread, and that does include the billboards that you see.
That's
out
awesome.
of
That's awesome. Myra, tell me who's on your team. How many hairstylists and makeup artists do you have on staff to pull off an event?
So we do have a team of 22 artists.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge team. We continue growing. So if you know anybody that needs a job, girls, send my way. We're hiring all the time. But on our team, it's such a big team. But when you really think about it, as many weddings as we take in events, I almost feel like it's not enough.
Yeah.
We do have a mix. Some of them do hair, some of them do makeup, some of them do both.
Okay.
And then it like I said, it just doesn't seem like we have enough artists.
Yeah.
Like when you say it, it's like, whoa,
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
And then with that large staff, what's the largest wedding party that you can handle? Let's say worst case scenario, you needed all hands on deck for one event that's got just lots and lots of bridesmaids, lots of female wedding participants. What's the largest wedding party size you could accommodate?
So this year, last month,
Okay.
topped it off. It used to be a party of 23. We did 27 people, 4 artists, 5 hours. Everybody got done.
Wow. 27 people.
27 people.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow. So with that, how much time do you usually allow for a bride? How much time per bride for makeup?
For makeup, I would say for just makeup, I would say about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. For bridesmaids?
For bridesmaids, about 30 to 45 minutes, you know,
Okay.
and that also depends on the look. Because remember, we have different styles. We can go very natural, or we can be dramatic.
Yeah.
So you just really, I'd rather give myself more time
Okay.
than to run out of time.
Okay.
And even if we have too much time, it gives us more time for touch-ups,
That's it.
hanging out,
Yeah.
just having fun with the girls.
And just being more relaxed.
Yeah, and just being
Yeah.
more relaxed, and the client actually gets more time for pictures.
Absolutely.
So that's always a plus.
Okay. And then for hair, I know that's going to be so two different, ways to look at it, because depending on the style,
Yes.
the hair texture, it could take a lot more time. But in general, could you be a
I would say 45 minutes.
Okay.
An hour would be max. And
Okay.
an hour would be like somebody that has extensions or lots of textured hair or really long hair. So lately, I've had these girls have hair like to their knees.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I'm like, man, that's extra. That's 2 styles, 2 services. Oh my God, you're getting a break. So having a consultation, and one thing that is very important too that I want to kind of throw out there and touch base, there's a difference between a consultation and a trial.
Okay.
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 The consultation is important. We can do it over Zoom. Clients welcome to come to the studio. We're really just talking. You can text me pictures and say, hey, this is kind of what I want to do.
Okay.
How do you think the day is going to go? We just have a general conversation. Now, a trial is great because you come in and you actually see a preview of how the hair and makeup's going to be that day. Well, you know what? I don't like how this hair comes. Can we pick it up? Can we do that? So
Okay.
that's narrowing down the service.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're wanting. I know how your hair is going to curl, how it's going to straighten. These lashes don't look good.
Yeah.
So for sure, if possible, it is within the budget, highly recommend a client to come. So the biggest benefit of us coming to you is going to be the convenience.
Yeah.
A lot of time, you know how Houston's growing
Yeah.
and that traffic growth.
Yes.
Literally, you can be in traffic 10 minutes
Yeah.
or backed up for an hour.
Yeah.
So when we come to you, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the space in your venue. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about, your bridesmaid or mom forgetting something and
Yeah.
having to drive back.
Yeah.
It's just convenient because we come in ready for you and you're just enjoying your day with your family, friends, and the beautiful, venue or scenery that you're at.
That's awesome. Could you please explain what a travel fee is and what it covers?
So the travel fee, the way gas prices are now, is really not covering anything.
Yeah.
But, it is for tolls.
Yeah.
Sometimes, again, traffic, tolls are easier. The maintenance of our vehicle, again, gas.
Yeah.
And just like, as a bridal party, you have to pack up your dress and your shoes. We have to pack everything up.
Absolutely.
And sometimes these venues are about 45 minutes to an hour away. So
Yeah.
it's just that lost time getting
Yeah.
from point A to point B.
So today we are at the Perfect Touch Houston, and there's so many beautiful things to look at. But the first question I had for you, I want to kind of pick your brain and see, how would you describe the Perfect Touch in your own words?
Sure. The Perfect Touch is a very creative and unique wedding decor vendor here in Houston.
Okay.
We've been around for about 18 years.
Oh, wow.
We serve the Houston area and Texas as well.
Okay, fantastic. And what kinds of products or rentals do you guys offer to wedding clients?
Absolutely. We actually have over 250 different types of linen options.
Oh, wow.
We have 40 to 30 different types of vases and urns, a wide selection of lounge furniture, basically a one-stop shop for everything you need for your wedding.
That's awesome. Now, do you guys offer any floral services or any additional services in addition to the linen rentals?
Absolutely. So we actually started out 18 years ago as a linen company, and throughout the years, clients have requested us to bring on more inventory. So we started with linens, then we brought in table decor, and then eventually we kind of came full circle and brought in a full floral department.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, my eyes are just all over the place. There's so many beautiful things to see. Do you mind taking me on a tour?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So these are all your napkin colors?
Yep. We actually have any linen that you see, we basically have napkin versions of
Okay.
as far as solid colors.
Okay. Napkins to match?
Napkins to match or
Okay.
just to coordinate.
Okay.
As far as napkins themselves, we probably have 200,
Of each?
175 of each color, each style.
Okay.
I was so impressed with all the Pinterest-worthy rentals that I found in the Perfect Touch showroom, but I was absolutely wowed when I stepped into the warehouse. Let's be honest, we live in Houston, and I don't always have the best luck finding the popular, real-time, and on-trend rentals often found in larger renting markets on the East and West Coast. But these guys truly have aisles and aisles of beautiful finds, plus a large dedicated staff to manage it all.
About how many weddings do you guys do per weekend?
So we actually cap ourselves at 4 weddings a weekend.
Okay.
With those 4 weddings, it allows us to have a lot of flexibility and to make sure that each client feels like it's the only event that we're working on.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. You guys have such a huge amount of inventory. It must just take just so much organization to keep everything lined up, labeled, and ready to go for your client.
Absolutely. Organization is a key to this industry.
Wow.
When you have large quantity of inventory, everything has to have the right place and be accessible at any given time.
Love it. Love it. So Jesse, tell me a little bit more about your preparation process for linen.
Our preparations for our linens is pretty much twofold.
No pun intended.
Absolutely. So when it comes from an event, we actually sort through each linen, make sure that there's no damage, stains, or anything that will kick it out of our inventory.
Okay.
As soon as we conclude that, we go ahead and start washing them, drying them, and then pressing them and folding them to place back into our inventory racks.
Okay.
When we have an event going out, our linen department ladies, they will actually go to each rack, collect each linen, do their counts, repress them, and then put them into plastic covers so there's no way they can get damaged from here to the actual table of the event.
Love it. That's
Absolutely,
a lot.
yeah.
So Jesse, it's my understanding that when you guys are ordering flowers from your wholesaler, that you have to order a little bit more than what you actually need for the centerpieces. Can you explain that a little bit?
I can. So there is an art form to purchasing and ordering flowers.
Okay.
Each bulk order of flowers can have some issues with dried or rotted flowers within the bunch.
Okay.
So when our florist is calculating how many flowers of each, he actually overdoes it by 2 to 5%.
Okay.
And that gives us insurance, so when the day of we're making these arrangements, that we have all the products, everything that we need to make that
You've got
flower, more than enough to make those flowers look just as beautiful that you saw on your table sample day.
Fantastic.
For the final segment, we decided to take a little field trip to one of my favorite restaurants in Houston, Ruggles Black. I thought it would be the perfect backdrop for our next fender. Besides being a great spot for date night, engagement parties, and even rehearsal dinners, the food is absolutely amazing, and I will literally find any excuse to hang out there. But on this day, we're all business, meeting with our independent mobile bartender, Isaac Tristan. So today we are at the beautiful Ruggles Black restaurant, and I'm talking to my friend Isaac Tristan with iSit Entertainment. And I am not a drinker, so I bug you a lot and asking you a lot of questions.
That's quite okay. That's fine, no problem.
About alcoholic beverages. So I wanted to start off by asking you just some general basic questions. What is a bar caterer, and what do your services include?
In short, a bar caterer is similar to a food caterer.
Okay.
We prep, bring everything, set it up, serve it, anything having to do with alcoholic beverages.
If I'm a bride or a groom, and I might be hearing these letters quite a bit, TABC. Can you tell me what those letters stand for?
Sure. TABC stands for Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Okay. And what is the TABC, and how is it applicable and important to alcoholic beverage service for events?
Okay, so TABC stands for Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, and it is the enforcement part of the liquor laws that the state writes.
In terms of the types of alcohol, can you just quickly tell me, I see this word tossed around a bit, and most people may know, what is a spirit and how is that different from beer or wine?
A spirit is basically anything that's distilled.
Okay.
So if it's distilled, it usually has a higher alcohol content.
Got it.
Vodka, bourbon, scotch, distilled. We refer to those as spirits.
Okay.
Wine and beer are typically fermented.
Okay. Got it. And then with alcohol, what's the difference between, I've seen well, call, and premium brand liquors? What's the difference between those?
So those three terms are basically industry's type standard.
Okay.
Well refers to, for lack of a better word, bottom shelf.
Okay.
So well call premium is bottom shelf, middle shelf, top shelf.
Okay.
So for example, at this bar, under the counter, there's what we call speed racks. That's where all the well stuff. It's the well call. Premium is what you're going to see.
Okay.
Because that's
You want to showcase that.
you want to showcase.
Yeah. Okay. How can you estimate how many drinks your guests will drink for an event?
So typically what we do is, it depends if it's just a beer wine bar or if it's a bar with spirits.
Okay.
So if it's just a beer wine bar, we typically allot 1.5 to 2 beers per brand. Let me reword that.
Okay.
So in other words, our 3 standard beers
Okay.
are Michelob Ultra, Modelo Especial, and Crawford Bock.
Okay.
So let's say I have 100 people, I would expect to have 150 of each of those beers.
Okay.
The same on the wine. So if I'm doing a Cabernet and a Chardonnay as a red and a white,
Okay.
then I would also have 150 of each.
And this is over what sort of time period? Like a 4 hour?
Typically 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The longer we go, of course, we change that mix.
Okay.
If we have spirits,
Okay.
then what we'll do is we'll reduce the number of beers and wines because
Okay.
we expect people to drink spirits.
Yes.
So
they have a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
So then instead of 150 of each beer, we'll do 100 of each beer
Got it.
because we're going to augment it with bourbon, scotch, vodka, gin, rum, and tequila.
Walk me through the process of basic event prep for you guys when you're preparing for a wedding, for example. So how far in advance do you guys start sort of checking your inventory and making sure that you've ordered what you need to order in terms of alcohol for the event?
Okay. So basically we get booked 6 to 8 months before the event.
Okay.
We'll get a rough guest count,
Okay.
more or less what the client would like served.
Okay.
We have packages that are already pre-made. So there's a beer wine package, well bar, call bar, premium bar.
Okay.
We could take any of those packages and modify them.
Okay.
And then as we get closer to the event, usually what I do is ask for updated RSVPs.
Okay.
About 2 weeks before the event,
Okay.
we'll finalize those numbers
Okay.
because we know they fluctuate.
Yeah.
And then about a week out is when we'll check stock.
Okay.
So,
And then that's when you order your spirits, your beer, wine, mixers, even. Okay.
Right. So basically, we keep a regular stock of items.
Okay.
And we'll make sure we have enough.
Okay.
So if we need to buy like another case of red wine or 3 more cases of beer, whatever that case might be.
Okay.
Or if there's any special requests, we usually ask for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because depending on the request, depends on how readily available it is.
Exactly.
So something that's harder to get takes longer to obtain it.
Okay.
What kinds of staff do you guys typically provide for a wedding?
Usually what I'll do is I'll double staff my bars
Okay.
with 2 bartenders.
Okay.
So that way there's always a bartender working.
Got it.
So if a bartender needs to step out,
Got
I have 1 bartender.
Okay.
Because theoretically, a bar back is not supposed to work the bar. He's only supposed to stock the ice, cut the limes and lemons,
Okay.
put more beer on ice.
Okay.
He's not supposed to serve anyone.
What sort of fees are included in your preparation process?
Well, for us, we're all inclusive our pricing. So our per person pricing includes the bartenders, delivery, setup, tear down, the TABC permit, ensuring the event, alcohol, non-alcohol, the ice, the cups, the beverage napkins, the
That's
limes,
everything.
stirs, that's everything.
Okay.
If you go to somewhere and buy something, depending what you're serving is going to depend what you need.
Okay.
A lot of venues, they just provide you the space.
Yeah.
So you'll have to bring your own coolers, your own ice, your own product, your own beverage napkins, your own cups. You'll have to hire your own bartender.
Wow.
Bartender fees would depend on the company you're using.
Okay.
We have no hidden fees.
Okay.
It's per person pricing plus sales tax in the story.
Okay.
Some other bar caterers, what they do is they'll say, our bar pricing is X dollars per person.
Okay.
Plus delivery fees, plus bartender fees, plus sales tax.
You just automatically.
Yeah, I roll all that into one price. I say X number of people times the price per bar.
Okay.
depending which level it is.
And your level of experience, I'm sure you've worked these events so many times, you know exactly how much everything costs. So it's easy for you from event to event to sort of estimate. Now, I'm going to have some fun and I'm going to do some rapid fire questions, and I'm going to pretend I'm a client that's giving you a hard time. You ready?
Okay. Okay.
Can we keep our unused liquor at the end of the night?
For catering services, no.
Okay.
There is a state law saying that any unused portion returns to the company that holds the mixed beverage permit.
Got it. Why do we have to have so many bartenders? So a lot of people will say, I've got 300 people in my wedding. Why can't I just have one bartender?
Well, because you're going to have a huge line and very angry guests.
What's the earliest time you can serve alcohol?
By Texas state law, 10 a.m.
Okay. And then what's the latest time I can serve alcohol?
Depends on who you hire. If you only have a mixed beverage permit, your cutoff time is midnight.
Okay.
If you have a late hours permit in addition to your mixed beverage permit, then you can go to 2 a.m.
Okay. Why can't I go to 3 a.m.?
Against the law for that. I guess you could, but if you got...
Don't forget that Houston's a big city with lots of great people and lots of great resources, especially wedding planning resources. So don't be afraid to get out there and see what you can find. We hope that you enjoyed our video and learned something new and insightful about planning your big day. This video was made possible with the time and dedication of a lot of really fantastic frienders. Victoria Garcia Studios for the awesome headshots. Per usual, the ever so stylish Kyra Unfiltered, recently rebranded as Air of Grace, for all the bespoke banter. The beauty behind Simple Beauty Artistry on hair and makeup. The Perfect Touch Houston for all the lovely linens and live flowers. And Icet Entertainment for a spirited talk on spirits at Rebels Black Restaurant. Thanks, everyone.